Hello, friends. For the past 3 weeks, I've been cooking this big project, and it's finally time for the Aunt Bonnie Kitchen to release its final, most pristine dish, the World of Warcraft killer. It's here, it's real, it's multiplayer, it's free, and it's down in the video description, and it's called World of saucecraft. Probably not gonna break any records for originality. It's Among Us in World of Warcraft. Now you might have noticed a little absence here. I was gonna say for the last 3 weeks, but realistically it's been more like 3 months since our first dish with the Fortnite project, followed by the Paladin project, followed by the racing simulator, and then the Stitches, the little horror games, single player horror game I made. This is kind of the culmination of everything. I've learned so much, and especially lately, I've been so lucky with some insanely big brain individuals in my chat, and I'm probably gonna mention them a couple of times. They're in the credits for the game. This game, literally, I know, it would not have happened if I didn't have all the help I did get. So big thank you. You know who you are. I don't know even how the first couple of games, how I even got them to a working point, because looking back, everything I did was terrible. Every system I added was wrong. but it worked somehow. This time I'm not gonna go into a step-by-step like I did for the other ones, for a couple of reasons. Number one, like I said, I've had a lot of professionals in my chat helping me out, so it wasn't a lot of trial and error. There were actually a lot of problems and a lot of funny encounters, happy little accidents, let's call them. But for the most part, it was just hard grinding. This game took a lot longer than I thought it would. I was expecting to finish it in, like, again, probably a week. It took us about 3 weeks, and those 3 weeks were like jammed with content. My brain's like throbbing right now. There's still some things I kind of wanted to add a little bit, and one of the professionals in my chat even said that games are never finished, they're just abandoned. And I gave up. I'm done. It's good enough, okay? To be honest, lately, I don't know if you can even tell, but I've kind of stopped taking care of myself even. I think I have kind of like a very addictive personality. I kind of cling on to a thing and I need to finish it. It's the same with even watching shows. If I start watching a show, I cannot not finish the show. Like, I'll stay up all night just to finish it, just so I can move on with my life. It's weird. So I kind of stopped eating. I stopped going to the gym. I stopped streaming, like World of Warcraft and stuff like that. I kind of ignored my YouTube. But I'm not complaining. I did learn a lot. It was a big investment, but I am tired. And it's finally time to release the dish and move on. So today, I'm going to take you through what the project looks like a little bit. I hope you guys enjoy the game. It is multiplayer, so you do need friends to play with. And before we get into that, I do want to say one thing, very important. Pay attention. So in order to play the game, you just download it from the link. It's a Dropbox, and the game works over Steam, okay? Now in Steam, all you gotta do is have Steam open, and you gotta make sure that your download region on your Steam is the same as the download region of whoever you're trying to connect to. So in my case, it's Canada, Montreal. If I want to play with someone, I'll tell them to just either they have to change their region to this, or I will change my region to whatever, whatever they are. So that's the only thing that you need to keep in mind in order for the game to work. But there's one more thing I want to mention, and I wasn't sure if I want to mention this, but I think it would be a good idea to mention it. It's about security for this game. There's no encryption for this game, so it's peer-to-peer through Steam. Now, I've done a little bit of research and I asked some professionals, and apparently the way it works is, as a client, when you connect to a server, right? So the guy that makes the server, they do have access to your IP if they dig for it. So it's not like on the screen or anything, but the server can access everyone's IPs, and everyone can see the server's IP. So the clients don't see the IPs between themselves, but there is this you gotta basically either make sure you have a VPN, and I wish I had the sponsor because this would be a perfect segue, but make sure you have a VPN, or just make sure you trust the people you're playing with. Again, the IP is not on the screen, obvious, but if someone has some suspicious intent and malicious intent, at least make sure that you trust the server or that you're not server yourself, okay? So that's the disclaimer out of the way. All right, I'm gonna be playing it with a bunch of friends, but again, the safest thing would just be to just have a VPN. It's probably very recommended. Let me show you guys a bit around the game. Now, like I said, this is Among Us in World of Warcraft. So we're using the same map, pretty much the same map as the Stitches game. In case you don't remember, the Stitches game was supposed to be an Among Us game initially, but I kind of gave up because that was too hard. This is our little lobby. When people join, they're all gonna be here. And this game is like professional, okay? This is our start button. I'm gonna do 0 Worgen because I'm the only player. It's Among Us, but with a little bit of a twist, okay? So we do have a map. As a villager, you have this little quest board here. You can grab the quest. There's a bunch of references in here. I'm not gonna spoil any of the quests, but you gotta read the quests. You gotta go do the quest to make sure you check your map, and then you go to the vendor. We have a vendor here. He looks a little pissed off, a little abandoned. You gather silver by doing the quests. You bring the silver to the vendor, and the vendor has a bunch of items for you. He has a little soap to basically Worgen can sense people's trail, and the Worgen in this game are the sussy people in Among Us. You have a stamina replacement therapy, a remote friendship checker, a ghostly glance goggles, and of course we have the boomstick. So unlike Among Us, where once you finish all your quests the game is over, in this game, once you complete enough quests, you just buy a shotgun and you take matters into your own hands. There's a bunch of Easter eggs in here. I'm not gonna show any of them, but if you come by, watch the stream, I'm sure you'll catch a few of them. We're actually planning on doing a big play tomorrow with Savix and everybody, so it would be cool to see you guys there. We even have a nice emote system where you hold the right click down and you can do a couple of emotes. You can wave, you can point. That guy's kind of sus. As a Worgen, of course, you can transform into a Worgen. I'll show that in a second. But you also have the ability to raise the fog. So this is what the other guy sees. As you can see, he's a little bit blind. He can't really see much. I can transform and I could just take him out if I wanted to, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm a nice guy. But when someone dies, they turn into one of these guys, and if you see them, you can just go up to them, press E, and it takes us to this voting room where the votings, we have a little chat menu here, and we can just vote like this, point and click. Everyone's gonna be able to vote here and talk. Look what I have here, a little rat, a little rat from the maw. Don't worry, we're coming back to the maw soon. So that's the game. I don't want to spoil too much. Again, the game's not perfectly super polished, but it's definitely by far the most polished game I've made, by far. And it's multiplayer, and I feel like my brain just grew so much. And I just wanted to make this video to let you guys know that the game is available. It's free, of course. It's just a passion project. And I am back. I'm gonna be... I need a little break from the game, like daily grind of game development. It's really fun and I'm gonna keep doing it, but I'm gonna take it a little more moderately. I'm gonna try to moderate my schedule a little bit better. So I hope you guys enjoyed the game. I hope you guys enjoyed this little presentation. I hope you guys are still around, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.